Inner peace is not something you stumble upon. It's something you create, even when life feels chaotic. Yet, many of us spend our days searching for calm in fleeting distractions, external comforts, or the hope that things will magically change. Peace doesn't come from fixing the world around you. It comes from mastering the world within you. If you've ever felt like your mind is constantly battling stress, frustration, or overwhelm, it's time to reclaim control. In this video, I'll share 6 powerful lessons drawn from Buddhist wisdom, timeless principles that have helped countless people find calmness in chaos. Each lesson will be explored through Buddha's teachings and corresponding stories, illustrating practical ways to navigate chaos and find inner peace. If you feel like your mind is caught in a whirlwind of chaos and can't find peace, stay with me until the end of this video to receive invaluable lessons from Buddhist wisdom. They may be the key to the true peace you've been longing for. Let's begin. 1. Control the controllable, your mind. Life is full of uncontrollable events, traffic jams, unexpected challenges at work, or the harsh words of others. When chaos strikes, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, as if the world is spinning out of control. But what if I told you that true peace doesn't come from controlling the chaos around you, but from mastering the calm within? Let me find out the answer through a short illustrative story below. A young monk once approached his teacher, visibly distressed. He said, "Master, I've been meditating and practicing mindfulness, but no matter how much I try, I cannot find peace. The village is in constant turmoil. People quarrel endlessly. The market is chaotic, and even the sound of livestock unsettles me. I feel overwhelmed, as if the world conspires to shatter my calm." The master listened intently and smiled gently. He motioned for the young monk to follow him to a small pond nearby. As they reached the water's edge, the master picked up a stone and tossed it into the pond. Ripples spread rapidly, distorting the once calm surface. The master then pointed to a small leaf floating on the water and said, "This leaf is like your mind. When the waves come, it tosses about uncontrollably. Now, watch carefully." The master placed a sturdy log into the water. The ripples continued, but the log remained stable, barely moving. "This log," the master explained, "is a mind that is steady and controlled. The ripples are the chaos of life, noise, quarrels, distractions. You cannot stop the ripples, but you can choose whether to be the leaf or the log. Control your mind, and the ripples will no longer trouble you." So, what does this story teach us about finding peace in a chaotic world? The lesson here is profound. Peace does not come from silencing the world, but from quieting the mind. As Buddha said, "Rule your mind, or it will rule you." This brings us to a core Buddhist principle that holds the key to true inner calm, focusing on what lies within your control, your thoughts, reactions, and mindset. When you learn to steady your mind, external turbulence loses its power over you. But how do we apply this wisdom in our daily lives? The answer lies in simple, mindful practices. One practical method is to start your mornings by setting an intention for the day. Before you pick up your phone or engage in daily tasks, find a quiet space to sit for 3 minutes. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and reflect on what you want to embody: calmness, patience, or focus. Visualize yourself carrying that quality throughout the day and let it serve as your mental anchor. By focusing on your inner state, you save energy otherwise wasted on trying to control the uncontrollable, such as other people's actions or unforeseen events. Stress decreases, and you develop the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Over time, you gain confidence in your ability to maintain peace, even in challenging circumstances. Just like the sturdy log in the story, you can remain steady no matter how turbulent the water becomes. When you master your mind, you create a foundation of calm and resilience that transforms how you navigate the storms of life. Remember, peace begins within, and the ripples of the world can only disturb you if you let them. 2. Breathe to anchor your mind. In Buddhism, breath is everything. Your breath is the bridge between the storm of your mind and the stillness of the present moment. The Buddha taught a lot about the importance of breathing, and the following story is a symbolic example of the importance of breathing in the chaos of life. In a quiet monastery nestled deep in the mountains, a young novice often found himself overwhelmed by feelings of anxiety and frustration. One day, during meditation, he became so distracted by his racing thoughts that he abruptly stood up and stormed out. His teacher, noticing his distress, gently followed him. "What troubles you, my child?" the teacher asked. The novice confessed, "I cannot quiet my mind. My thoughts race endlessly, and I feel trapped, unable to focus or find peace." The teacher smiled and led the novice to a nearby river. "Watch the water," he said. "It flows continuously, but do you see the big rock in its path?" The novice nodded. "That rock," the teacher continued, "is your breath. The river represents your thoughts and emotions, constant and uncontrollable. But when you focus on the rock, you notice that it doesn't stop the river. It simply exists within it, steady and unmoving. Your breath can anchor you the same way, allowing the chaos to flow around you while you remain calm and centered." This story holds a simple yet profound lesson. While we cannot stop the flow of life's chaos, we can choose to anchor ourselves amidst it by turning to something as simple as our breath. The breath is not just a physical act. It is a bridge between the body and the mind, grounding you in the present moment. Buddha said, "Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile." This teaching reminds us to focus on our breath, that the act of mindful breathing can transform stress and turbulence into tranquility and clarity. When life feels overwhelming, your breath becomes an anchor, pulling you away from spiraling thoughts and back to the present moment. By simply paying attention to your breathing, you redirect your focus from the storm of your mind to the steadiness of your body. This act not only calms your nerves, but also allows you to respond to challenges with clarity and composure instead of impulsiveness. The practice of focusing on your breathing is actually very simple. Begin by setting aside 2 to 3 minutes during your day, perhaps in the morning, or whenever you feel stressed. Sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. Inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4 counts, and then exhale slowly for another 4. Repeat this cycle several times, letting the rhythm of your breath guide you into a calmer state. This practice helps you disengage from distractions and anchors you firmly in the present. The benefits of mindful breathing extend far beyond the moment. It reduces anxiety by lowering your heart rate and calming your nervous system. Over time, it trains your mind to observe emotions and thoughts without becoming overwhelmed by them. This leads to better decision-making, improved focus, and a greater sense of control over your reactions. It's like building a mental pause button, allowing you to approach life's challenges with patience and clarity. As you practice mindful breathing, you'll begin to notice its impact, not just in the moment, but in how you navigate life's daily challenges with greater ease and focus. Your breath is more than a function of survival. It is your constant companion, a tool for balance and peace. Like the rock in the river, it steadies you amidst life's relentless flow. When you cultivate this awareness, you realize that no matter how turbulent the waters become, you can always find your footing by returning to your breath. 3. Reframe challenges, or let them crush you. In the confrontation between the stream and the rock, the stream always wins, not through strength, but by perseverance. This teaching of the Buddha reminds us that challenges, like the rough stone, can either break us or shape us depending on how we approach them. Let's dig deep in this teaching with a story. There was once a young apprentice who worked tirelessly under the guidance of a master sculptor. The apprentice, filled with ambition, dreamed of carving a magnificent statue that would gain the admiration of all who saw it. One day, the master handed him a large block of stone and said, "This is your canvas." Eager to begin, the apprentice worked day and night, chiseling away with passion. But each time he struck the stone, imperfections appeared, cracks, uneven surfaces, and flawed edges. Frustrated, he threw down his tools and exclaimed, "This stone is worthless. It's full of flaws and impossible to perfect." The master quietly picked up the chisel, studied the stone, and began working on it with calm precision. Over time, he shaped the imperfections into intricate details, a flowing robe here, a delicate fold there. Slowly, the apprentice realized that the very flaws he had despised were now part of the statue's beauty. Smiling, the master said, "Challenges are like this stone. They seem unyielding at first, but if you work with them instead of against them, they reveal their potential." Like the sculptor who worked patiently with the flaws in the stone, you too can reframing challenges by seeing it as opportunities to grow, not obstacles. You can transform challenges by asking yourself, "What can I learn from this?" and "How can this help me grow?" These questions shift your focus from the problem to the possibilities it offers. For example, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, reflect on what went wrong and how you can approach similar situations differently in the future. By shifting your focus from the failure itself to the lessons it offers, you'll find a sense of purpose even in adversity. Reframing challenges means viewing them not as burdens, but as stepping stones toward growth. Instead of seeing failure as the end, it becomes a teacher. This shift in perspective allows us to harness the potential within each difficulty, turning setbacks into opportunities for learning and self-discovery. It's not about denying the pain or frustration of challenges, but about recognizing their value in building resilience and character. That's how we manage to find calmness in the chaos of life challenges. As you practice reframing challenges, you'll notice not only immediate benefits, but also long-term changes in how you handle adversity. When you view challenges as opportunities, you become less fearful of failure and more willing to take risks. Your confidence grows because you know that every setback is a chance to improve. This resilience spreads to other areas of your life, relationships, work, and personal goal, where you begin to face difficulties with patience and strength. Moreover, reframing challenges helps you let go of negativity and embrace a more constructive, hopeful outlook on life. Like the sculptor and his stone, we all have the power to transform the rough and imperfect aspects of life into something meaningful and beautiful. By reframing challenges, you cultivate perseverance and wisdom, becoming like the stream that wears down the rock, not through force, but through persistence and adaptability. Remember, the obstacles in your path are not there to defeat you. They are there to shape you into your best self. 4. Let go of emotions. Release your inner burden. In the middle of chaos, it's not always the external noise that overwhelms us. It's the emotions we hold on to: anger, frustration, or sadness. These feelings, when left unchecked, can weigh us down and intensify the chaos within. But what if letting go of these emotions could lighten your load and bring clarity to even the most turbulent moments? Here's a story that shows the power of releasing your inner burdens. One day, a student approached Buddha, overwhelmed with anger after a heated argument with a friend. "Master," he said, "I cannot let go of this rage. Every time I think of the insult, it burns me inside. How can I make them understand the pain they've caused me?" Buddha listened patiently and handed the student a small glass filled to the brim with water. "Hold this glass tightly," Buddha instructed. The student did as he was told. Minutes passed, and the student's hand began to ache. The longer he held on, the heavier the glass seemed to become. Finally, his grip weakened, and he begged Buddha to allow him to put it down. Smiling, Buddha said, "Your emotions are like this glass. The longer you hold on to them, the more they weigh on you. To find peace, you must release them. This story offers a simple but profound lesson. Emotions, while natural, become burdens when clung to excessively. The weight of our emotions doesn't come from the emotions themselves, but from how long we hold on to them. Buddha taught, attachment is the root of suffering. Emotions are fleeting by nature, much like clouds drifting across the sky. When we resist their transience, holding on to anger, sadness, or even happiness too tightly, we invite suffering into our lives. Letting go does not mean suppressing or ignoring emotions, but allowing them to flow through us without attachment. Understanding this principle helps us see emotions for what they are, temporary states that do not define us. When you hold on to anger, it consumes your thoughts, affecting your decisions and relationships. When you cling to sadness, it can cloud your perspective, making it difficult to move forward. Letting go allows you to reclaim your inner balance and act from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. A simple way to practice letting go of emotions is through mindfulness. When you feel overwhelmed by a strong emotion, take a moment to pause and observe it. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Focus on identifying the emotion. Acknowledge it without judgment. Say to yourself, I see you, anger, or I recognize this sadness. Visualize the emotion as a leaf floating down a stream, moving further and further away with the current. This exercise helps you detach from the emotion and recognize that it is not permanent. Letting go of emotions does not mean you become unfeeling or indifferent. Instead, it allows you to experience emotions fully in the moment without letting them define or control you. Like the student who finally put down the glass, you will find that the weight you carry becomes lighter and peace becomes your constant companion. By observing and releasing your emotions, you make space for clarity, wisdom, and joy to enter your life. 5. Seek joy within. Stop external comparisons. In a small village, 2 neighbors, Arun and Suraj, both grew mango trees in their gardens. Arun's tree bore a modest amount of fruit, while Suraj's tree was abundant, with large golden mangoes that drew admiration from the entire village. Arun, consumed by envy, spent hours comparing his tree to Suraj's. Why is his tree so much better than mine? He would ask himself, his joy fading with each thought. One day, an old monk visited Arun and saw his frustration. "Why are you so troubled, my friend?" the monk asked. Arun explained, "I feel ashamed that my tree is not as fruitful as my neighbor's." The monk nodded and led Arun to his garden. Pointing to Arun's tree, the monk said, "Do you see this tree? Its fruits may not be as plentiful as your neighbor's, but they are sweet, nourishing, and grown by your own hands. Yet, you rob yourself of joy by looking over the fence instead of appreciating what you already have." Arun's struggle is a reflection of what many of us face every day, the tendency to look over the fence and forget the beauty within our own garden. But how can we break free from this mindset? This story highlights a universal struggle, the tendency to compare ourselves to others, which often leaves us feeling inadequate or dissatisfied. Buddha warned against this trap when he said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." True joy is not found in measuring our success against others, but in appreciating our unique journey and the gifts we already possess. When we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of our own growth and accomplishments. External comparisons create a false sense of inadequacy, convincing us that we are not enough. This habit erodes self-worth and steals the joy that comes from celebrating our own progress. Instead, seeking joy within means recognizing that our value is not dependent on how we measure up to others, but on the effort and intention we put into our own lives. Understanding this is the first step, but how do we bring this wisdom into our daily lives? To practice seeking joy within, start by creating a gratitude journal. Each evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for about yourself. These could be small accomplishments, qualities you admire in yourself, or simple moments that made you smile during the day. For example, you might write, "I handled a difficult conversation with patience," or "I took a step toward a personal goal today." By focusing on your own progress, you begin to see the beauty in your unique path. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you free your mind from the burden of judgment and competition. Your confidence grows as you focus on your strengths and achievements rather than external validation. Seeking joy within does not mean ignoring the achievements of others, but appreciating them without letting them diminish your own value. Like Aaron, when you stop looking over the fence and turn your attention to the sweetness of your own fruits, you discover that happiness was within you all along. By focusing on your unique journey and embracing your individuality, you unlock a deeper, lasting joy that no comparison can take away. 6. Use mindfulness as your shield. Chaos is an inevitable part of life. Whether it's external pressures or internal struggles, it can feel like a storm pulling you in every direction. But mindfulness offers a way to stay steady amidst the turbulence. It acts as a shield, protecting your peace and helping you navigate challenges with clarity and calm. Let me tell you a story that demonstrates how mindfulness can transform chaos into opportunity. In a bustling kingdom, a young king was often overwhelmed by the demands of his position. Endless court sessions, disputes among his subjects, and the pressures of maintaining order left him feeling exhausted and irritable. One day, during a particularly chaotic moment, he decided to seek the advice of a wise monk living in a monastery on the outskirts of the city. When the king explained his struggles, the monk handed him a small bowl filled to the brim with water. "Walk around the courtyard with this bowl," the monk instructed, "but do not let a single drop spill." Confused but curious, the king carefully made his way around the courtyard, his full attention on the water. When he returned, the monk asked, "What did you notice during your walk?" The king replied, "Nothing but the bowl. I was so focused that I didn't see or hear anything else." The monk smiled and said, "Your mind is like that bowl. When it is filled with distractions, every movement spills over and adds to your chaos. But when you are mindful, focused on one thing, you create stability, no matter how much activity surrounds you." This story introduces a core principle in Buddhist philosophy. Mindfulness is a way to remain steady amidst life's storms. Buddha taught, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the here and now, allowing you to observe the world without being overwhelmed by it. It is not about avoiding life's challenges, but about approaching them with clarity and calm. Just like the king focusing on the bowl of water, you can use mindfulness to anchor yourself in the present. Begin with a short breathing exercise whenever you feel overwhelmed. As you breathe, notice the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breath, and the stillness that follows. This practice centers your mind and brings you back to the present, even amidst chaos. Mindfulness acts as a shield because it helps you step back from the storm of thoughts and emotions that can dominate your mind during difficult times. When you practice mindfulness, you become an observer, aware of what is happening without being consumed by it. This perspective allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, even when faced with life's most demanding situations. It's not about avoiding chaos, but changing how you experience it. With mindfulness as your shield, you can approach every challenge with grace and purpose. And like the king focusing on the bowl of water, mindfulness allows you to maintain inner balance even when the world around you is in turmoil. By anchoring yourself in the present moment, you transform challenges into opportunities for growth and approach each day with a sense of calm and purpose. The storm may rage, but with mindfulness as your shield, you can remain steady and unshaken. As you've seen, mindfulness is a powerful shield, grounding you in the present and helping you navigate life's storms with clarity and calm. But remember, mindfulness is just one piece of the puzzle. When combined with the other lessons, anchoring your mind, reframing challenges, letting go of emotions, and finding joy within, it forms a complete toolkit for building unshakable inner peace. The journey to inner peace begins with small, intentional steps. 6 stories and lessons we explored together today aren't just ideas, they're tools to help you live a calmer, more fulfilled life. Start small. Try one lesson today, whether it's focusing on your breath during a stressful moment or journaling about your challenges. Over time, these practices will become habits that reshape how you navigate life. Remember, peace isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. Take the first step today and let your journey inspire others. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.